Can you believe we're actually together? This is amazing. No, like talking virtually on screens. I know. Got her right next to me, which is amazing.
And her as well. Oh, also, we need to talk about the very perimenopause because you're doing that and I'm doing that.
Yes. I got a message from them this morning. They were so excited we're together.
So did I. So we'll let people join if that's all right. So I tend to give people a couple of minutes on TikTok and that's fine.
Hi, Instagram. Hi,
hello, Instagram.
Asian Heritage Month. Yay, they're tuning in and it should be streamed on their YouTube as well.
Yeah, so.
Oh, you both look beautiful. She looks beautiful. She's just been on this morning.
This is all lots of makeup from TV land.
This is DIY job. 10 minutes.
She's absolutely beautiful. Right, anyway, that's not what we're here to talk about. Okay, so we'll just let a couple of people start and Michelle.
Hey, Michelle.
Hi. Yeah. We'll let more and more people join and this will be downloaded and it will be put across our social media in bite size and also in various different forms on YouTube. So don't worry, you're not going to miss out on very much because there will be ways that you can go back and listen to it. Right. Hello, hi, I'm Dr. Nighat. I'm an NHS GP and I do women's health.
I'm Lavina Mehta. I'm a personal trainer and wellness coach, mum of 3, and do lots of exercise snacking, which I'm sure we'll talk about today.
And finally, thank you so much for giving up your lunchtime to listen to us. This is in honor of South Asian Heritage Month. And what better than to get 2 South Asian women. I'm from Pakistan originally.
I'm born in London, but Gujarati background.
Oh, perfect. So we're going to talk about health and well-being because one of the things that I find a lot common in my consultation rooms is that women will come and say to me, and mostly I speak Punjabi, so I say, khana ki hai? So what should we eat to lose weight? What should we eat to be healthy? So I'm going to pick her brains because she's amazing and ask the first question that I know that I want to know even for myself.
Go for it.
How can I substitute roti?
Did you see my Instagram story?
I did. I saw that. How can we substitute chapatis?
So the most common question, obviously, so when we're used to having those lovely ghee-laden chapatis, rotlis, whatever you want to call them, and we have that whole pile in front of us, I know it's so tempting. I am not saying restrict. So I think it's all about education rather than restriction. And I would say rather than having like 6 or 7, or it's all about portion control. So I would say just have the one, enjoy it, and then maybe add in some other bits. So protein is great because it's going to keep you satiated. So any form of protein, especially with our Asian Indian cuisine, you know, we can think of things like lentils, dals, beans. If you can have tofu, if you eat eggs, those are great ideas to add to all your meals. It's going to keep you full and it's going to stop us from binging too much. And I'm all about balance, but colorful plates. So got my mom's book. I just given Nighat a copy of my mom's book, which is Feel Good with Food. And mom wrote this literally as a rainbow. So that's what we're trying to promote, is that we want colorful plates. Yeah.
So the biggest thing I get is that, and I hear this in my household because we're a Punjabi household, and you know they'll be like, "Agar asi roti nahi khadi, asi salan nahi khada." So if we haven't had roti or chapatis, we haven't had our salan, we don't feel full. So how do you get over that sort of that feeling of that we're not eating something that's going to sustain us? Because the mindset from India and Pakistan is that you need to eat something that's going to sustain you, and so you have your 3 meals a day.
Yeah, I mean, I believe in 3 meals a day. I think, you know, little switches that you can make, like maybe using wheat flour or whole grains. So maybe going for brown rice instead of white rice. I love things like quinoa, which are great. They provide all the essential amino acids, especially because I'm vegetarian, so it's quite hard to get that being a veggie. So, you know, like think about what you're giving. Maybe give a little bit of rice, 1 or 2 rotlis. So, and people get used to it because it's all about change, right? We're so like, oh my gosh, I'm used to it. You know, the mindset, like you're saying, it's a very traditional thing. Like being Gujarati, we would have chapati, curry, dal, and rice, like 4 things. It's a huge amount. And then what I started doing was just doing either chapati and curry one night and the dal and the rice one night. I'm very lucky that my husband isn't demanding Rotleys every evening. I think he grew up with having too many. And we've got used to, like having salads, having lots of veg, maybe having the papadum, like for a bit of crunch, because you kind of want that. Find things that you enjoy. Don't restrict yourself, but it's definitely an education and it's a mindset change, right?
So one of the things that we have is that Punjabi people, and I think Gujarati people are exactly the same. We need to have our ghee, our butter. Like Ramzan comes around, and I feel like fried food. So pakode, samosa, onion bhaji. There's just so much variety. You can tell I like my food, guys. So I'm not gonna lie.
I love food too.
But you need to be able to. How do we get around sort of those foods when sometimes all you want is maybe that onion bhaji or that samosa, and helping yourself to those sort of foods because that's just what you want and it just takes you back home.
Oh my God, totally. I mean, I love food. Food is life. I am not about restriction. I keep saying
Thank goodness she said no restriction, guys.
Yeah, I love, my mum's a chef, right? So we're all about food. It's about balance. It's also, maybe I have tried to put the samosa and the bhaja in the oven rather than deep frying.
That's a really good tip. I don't think I've ever done that.
Try it. It might not be exactly the same, but it's actually good. You also get those air fryers, which I've been saying I need to buy one, but my friends keep saying that things like that come out really well in the air fryer.
I can vouch for that. I have an air fryer, and honestly, it's a godsend. Yeah. It's really godsend. Yeah. It's great for making things like, not just because when I got it, it was really just for chips and things like that. Yeah. But I put chicken in there now, and it comes out lovely and crispy. Amazing. And I have actually tried to make samosa in the air fryer.
Good. Yeah.
And they do. Okay, you still want the ghee. I'm not going to lie. Okay, you do still want it fried. Yeah. But it's a really good way of putting it in and making them come out nice and crispy.
Exactly. So also the problem is, with most of these foods, they're addictive, right? Yeah. So we have things like, they call it Bombay mix, we call it Jevro. My parents will still say, even though mum is like, into healthy eating, written a book about it, she's like, we can't live without our gantia and our Jevro and those little bits in the morning, even aids digestion, the jana, the actual chickpea flour, obviously helps digestion and bowel movements and things like that. So they're very used to it. I think that generation, especially, like parents' generation, are very sort of stuck in their ways. But I'm seeing my own dad, like making changes. My mom obviously helps influence by, you want to have quick, easy recipes, right? Yeah. We're both mums and we have like an army to feed. My boys are huge now, so they all eat like men, and they're all vegetarian, but there is so much out there that we can make. And I'm all about, like making things easy for ourselves. So maybe sometimes when I'm so busy juggling work and the family, I will kind of make a quick menu plan. I won't necessarily stick to it, but the intention is there. I've got like a little menu thing that I stick on the fridge. So the whole family kind of knows what we're roughly eating. It doesn't always work. The ideal world. And then I'll try and shop accordingly. And then everyone's kind of involved, right? So I can ask one of my sons or my husband, like, what do you fancy? Or what night are you playing football? So that will be pasta night. And even with pasta, I found things like, I don't know if you've tried the lentil pasta and the chickpea pasta.
I haven't tried it, but I have come across it a lot more recently. And I've been told that it doesn't taste the same.
It doesn't taste the same, but I would say it's a good substitute. And we've got really used to it, right? Okay. And when you do start looking at trying to, maybe exercise more, maybe build some more muscle mass, it does come down to, like, where can we get protein into our foods as well? I think that's really important. And like I said earlier, it's going to keep you fuller for longer, right?
So the biggest thing that we have as South Asian people, and I love this, is our food. So I said, sometimes a food isn't like, your meal isn't complete without a treat. So for me, and I'll be honest, I need that little bit of chocolate after. And it could just even be a pot of yogurt or afterwards. Good, yeah. And sometimes, dare I say it, I need a bit of ras malai. Who doesn't like ras malai? If you don't like ras malai, we're not going to be friends. So I'm joking. And so how do you get around, because there's so much variety, because food for the South Asian palate is so varied, but sweet dishes are so delicious.
Oh my God, they're so delicious. So have a bite, maybe not have 3 ras malai. have a little bit so you feel satisfied. Yeah, like if you start taking the foods away, we're just going to be dreaming of them all the time and wanting them even more. I would say with chocolate, you know, a piece of dark chocolate is actually proven to have such high antioxidants in it. You know, it's kind of good for the heart as well. So maybe try and go for darker chocolate. I like, you know, crazy amounts now of like 80% dark chocolate. Other sweet sort of fixes and things you could try, like a date with some nut butter in it. I don't know if you've ever tried
such a
that.
good. I've never
That's
tried
so
that.
Yummy. It's delicious. I like things
so
like.
you mean like a date cut in half, but peanut butter in there?
Peanut butter, almond butter, any nut butter. I'm going to try those.
I'm going to try that. That
They're
sounds delicious.
You can even make them, put them in the fridge, and just feel like you're just having, you know, like a little piece just to treat yourself.
That's such a good tip.
Rice cakes, yogurt. You know, I have like Greek yogurt and berries. Just think of other ways that we maybe don't have a sweet every night, right? You know, treat yourself at the weekends. I don't like ever calling it a cheat day, but you know, when you're out socially and stuff, you don't want to restrict yourself, but think about it across the week. It's just something we're not having every single meal.
So if I'm right in understanding, 3 things that you would say, if we distill it very, very quickly for a good diet, because one is do not restrict yourself anything because you'll just want it more. A rainbow diet. So substitute what you need for like chapatis. Not that you can't have chapatis, but maybe not have like 5 or 10.
Yeah, yeah.
And then look at substituting that with loads of salads and mixed salads. And like you said, quinoa is a really good way. Yeah. And put some lentils in there or some dals for that protein that you want. And then lastly, if it's sweet stuff, it's again portion size, as you said. Definitely. And then substituting that sweet stuff for maybe if it's milk chocolate for a darker chocolate. And then if you're going to have, say, your rasmalai or your gulab jamun or your mithai, then you have a little bit, or look at alternative ways of natural sugars. So, for example, if you look at dates and things or bananas. So the other tip that I recently learned a lot is if you put banana in the, like really ripe banana in the freezer.
Oh yeah, it's great.
And it's really great. It's really great. You take it out and then you get like it tastes almost like banana ice cream. And it has a really rich buttery taste to it. So I've discovered that recently as a really good way. And then if you do anything, an air fryer, invest in an air fryer because it's really great.
I think also, you know, things like Diwali's coming up. So you're going to be, you know, so tempted to have all the sweets. What I've been making the last few years are these like what I call feel-good protein balls. But it does consist of like nuts. Obviously, dates are sugar, but they're natural sugars, right? So we're trying to move away from the processed stuff and go for fresh, home-cooked ingredients and meals. Nuts, date butter, I think it has a little bit of coconut oil and some almond butter, and put chia seeds, flax seeds, you know, like lots of these little ingredients that you can hide away, which are really good. I know someone's mentioned about menopause. I know someone's mentioned about
we're going to move on to
that
conversation.
And obviously I'm an ambassador for Diabetes UK as well, so it's so common in our South Asian communities. But yeah, maybe try something like that. And you can present them just like you would the mithai at Diwali, you know, like make them pretty, put them in a little cupcake holder and give them out to your friends and let me know what you all think.
So also, I'm really happy to say that we've both actually partnered up together with the Very Peri-Menopause Summit in the UK. You can find the link to the early bird offer in our profile. So it's on my profile on my TikTok and on my Instagram as well. And all this information that we're giving you here was going to be available in regards to how to manage the perimenopause, menopausal phase, which leads me on to the next question, because a lot of my DMs, the minute I said we were going to do a live together, my DMs were full of South Asian women and women from Black community as well, saying, I just cannot lose weight around the perimenopause. So as a fitness coach and wellness coach, and also you look at diet very closely, quick advice or bits of advice that you think, do you know what, all women should be doing this?
Yeah, so we actually do talk in detail on this Very Peri Summit. So definitely have a look at our links on our bios and sign up to that. I talked to a nutritionist about exactly this, you know, the weight gain, what people call the menopause, and it's very common, you know, especially for women, and perimenopause starts, you know, up to 10 years before the menopause. So even if in your 30s, late 30s, early 40s, consider it. I've also read research, I don't know if you know, Nighat, more about this, that South Asian women are probably going to hit the menopause 5 or 6 years earlier than the average white female. So, think about it. I don't know if you've heard that research, but it's early on. The weight gain does start, unfortunately, around our belly area, and it's all about, the estrogen levels dropping and cortisol builds up as well. It's a time where a lot of us are going through, stresses. Maybe you're in that sandwich generation where we're looking after kids as well as elderly parents. So there's a lot going on in our lives. Yeah. Obviously, I am promoting exercise, and exercise doesn't have to be your hour-long gym session. We are short of time, motivation. It doesn't have to cost anything either. Obviously, I've been providing free workouts through the pandemic for all ages, even up to the age of 100 in care homes. And we've had loads of barriers broken where, my parents' generation, elderly South Asian communities that haven't done exercise are now joining my free workouts with my mother-in-law, which is fabulous to see. But the weight gain, I would say, is a battle, but we can do lifestyle changes. So making sure you sleep well, 7 to 8 hours sleep is also going to affect your weight, what you eat and how you feel, staying hydrated, eating a nutritious diet. And I promote exercise snacking, which is, not having our mithai when we're doing exercise, but simple movements that we can do, like bite-sized amounts through the day, will actually help us hit the government guidelines to help us maintain a healthy weight. So even 5 minutes,
So tell us a bit more about that. So give us your snacking exercise or your bite-sized exercise.
Are we going to do it now?
I don't mind doing it.
We should get up.
We should get up and do it. I need to do a bit of exercise.
We're going to get up. We've got such a lovely room here. So I'm promoting strength training in particular. So I'm saying hit the cardiovascular targets, which is around 30 minutes 5 times a week. But that seems a lot, right? Mm-hmm. Especially if you're not used to exercise. Even if you go out for a walk, 10 minutes, maybe after or before each meal, tie it onto an existing habit. That way you're going to hit your 30 minutes. Thank you. We've got some love for exercise snacking. So
we will do it at the end. I'm not joking.
I need
to do some exercise. But a couple more questions, because we're going right up until about 1 o'clock. So so much. Comments are coming through. You guys are amazing.
So someone actually just mentioned calorie deficits. So obviously I am not a nutritionist, but definitely calories in versus calories out is the kind of science behind it. I think it's always useful when you're trying to lose weight. I say to a lot of my clients or people that I interact with on social media is do the logging of your food. Maybe don't get bogged down in calorie counting at the start, but just by logging your food, and it doesn't have to be on a fancy app. I've got an app myself, but you can use MyFitnessPal. It's absolutely free. Just start noting down what you eat. It's going to make you such an education. It's going to make you aware of what you're eating, when you're eating, and you'll just start seeing over a week your rough sort of calorie intake, how many chocolates you've been having. It kind of makes you think about what you're putting into your body. So I just wanted to mention that because obviously it is about energy in versus energy out, and exercise and food go hand in hand.
And a lot of people, so we're busy mums, busy lives. I've got 3 children. My youngest is 4. Your youngest is 14 years old. So when you've got a household and you're really busy, and we know what comes with being South Asian women, you've got your parents to look after, your aunties and uncles. There's always some, dare I say it, I'm so sorry, but some melodrama that happens in our family. Let's admit it. We've all got it. Like, I know what happens. And so the time to take away, the cost factor, it doesn't have to be expensive to do exercise and to eat well.
You don't have to have a gym membership. The pandemic has shown us that. All my workouts were done at home. You don't have to have fancy equipment. You still see everyone logging on Fridays using tins, plastic bottles, water bottles. Like, make use of what you can, and even just body weight to start off with, especially with strength training, which we will show you some moves, I promise, at the end of this. But strength training is incredible alongside cardio. I think that's the magic piece of the jigsaw that people miss out, is that you will do your walking, your running, your cycling, swimming, like whatever form of cardio. And I always say, find something you enjoy. But with muscle mass, especially as we hit the menopause, women out there, we want to be maintaining our muscle mass and our bone density. the more muscle mass you have, the more calories you're going to burn at rest. So actually, the more weight you're going to lose. Yeah. And we want to lose weight, not just to look good. I always say exercise for sanity, not vanity. It's my slogan. It's all about the mental health benefits of exercise. Like, if we just go out for a 5-minute feel-good walk, as I term them, ideally in nature, even if it's by your garden or your park, just look around you, breathe the fresh air. It's going to be huge for your mood, your levels of stress, anxiety. Hopefully you'll see them all go down with the release of natural endorphins in your, the hormones in your body. So it is that feel-good factor. And with strength training in particular, you can do literally things while we're cooking. As busy moms, I always say every time you go for a coffee, maybe get in your press-up snack or get some squat snacks in. I've got snacks for everything, by the way, but it's that trying to hit the targets around twice a week at minimum to be doing some sort of weight training, whether it's body weight or actually lifting weights.
The biggest thing is motivation.
Yeah.
So yes, we have busy lives. Yes, we might be going through those hormonal changes. So whether that's your polycystic ovarian syndrome and you're up and down with your fluctuations of your hormones and you're struggling to lose weight, or whether that's perimenopause or menopause. And I find that after sort of, especially on a Monday after a busy weekend or Tuesday, even this week, actually, I just haven't had the motivation to exercise.
Yeah, motivation is the hardest.
Yeah.
I always say capture that feeling. I know it sounds corny, but I promise you, even if I put a smile on your face, and all of you guys will be laughing, smiling when we do some exercise, but I hope you join us. It's capturing that feeling afterwards, just after a minute of maybe some star jumps or some high knees or something, you're going to feel that mood boost. Capture that feeling, bottle it up, think about how it made you feel, right? We all have stress in our lives, and stress is, the killer, right, for modern day society. And we want to find easy ways that we can try and alleviate that. So I would say try and obviously look at the results as well. It's not about just weight loss. It's about the things we can't see. So how your blood sugars react once you've had some sort of movement, how it's so great at helping reducing risks of diabetes, especially type 2 diabetes can be reversed, as can pre-diabetes. It's about dementia. And I know you've talked about that on this morning. So I work alongside Alzheimer's Society because my grandmother had it. And again, it's another common chronic illness that Asians do not talk about. Yeah. It's one of those things that we kind of, as families, it's kind of shunned upon. But as my grandmother had it, it hit her hard for the last decade of her life. I'm trying to raise awareness of how exercise can really help reduce your risk of dementia and Alzheimer's as well. And there's incredible studies. Osteoporosis, heart disease, depression. If you even hit your cardio, your walks, you can reduce your risk of early death by up to 3 years. The science behind it was what drives me. Yeah, it's not just about how we look, but all the magic that exercise does for us that we can't necessarily see.
So exercise underpins actually so many treatments for so many health conditions, and the motivation bit is the most hardest bit. And we're going to go do a very quick exercise snack. Yay. Because that's a new term I've learned. I didn't know about exercise. I am wearing a dress because I was on TV this morning, so I am dressed up for TV land.
Beautiful.
But we'll try and do an exercise with you because I'm always ready for a go, and I will give anything a go if that's right.
Amazing.
This will make you laugh and smile, but then
I hope you join in. You guys have to join in. So we're all stuck on Zooms and screens all the time. And we're just going to adjust our cameras just so that we have a little bit of space here.
So we're going to try and do an exercise. So if you're in a dress at home or whatever you might be doing. Or a sari, shalwar-kameez. Look, if I'm going to do it in a dress, you have to do this.
I'm always dressed. I'm always dressed in activewear. But you do not need to worry about what you're wearing. I want you guys to all get up and join us right now. We're going to do just some simple squats. If you're not used to these, and if you're not able to stand,
guys.
You can do leg extensions, which are sitting down, or join my free workouts every Friday morning at 10.
So I'm going to go back a bit. So
you go back. I'll show from the side. We're going to make sure that our knees are always in line with our toes going out. We're just going to do 5 simple squats. We're going to think about mind over muscle connection. So really squeezing up, engaging all the muscles. Your belly button is sucked in towards your spine. I hope everyone watching here is squatting with us. So you're breathing in and you're breathing out. You're checking your knees stay back and they're going out. Can you feel the engagement in your thighs, your glutes, your core? She's smiling. That's the main thing. 5 squats, super easy. We're going to just start with some high knees. So we're going to mix up. I know, I was going to say, or you can just jog and march on the spot. So you don't even have to do high impact, yeah? Squats are great, by the way, for knee health. So I'm going to do some high knees. I'm bringing my knees up towards my belly button. There we go.
Oh, actually, you might be able to see
And if you want to add in some rope pulls for the arms, let's move it in a little bit easier in your dress is some boxing. So this is my favorite stress reliever. Everyone at home, come on, just box with us for 10 seconds.
If I'm doing it, you're doing it with me. You can't say
you're going to love this boxing. So you're going to, don't tell me who you're imagining, but whatever stress or anyone that's annoyed you, you're going to get it out here, get that instant feel-good endorphin rush. So you can just walk it out if you don't want to run. We're going for 3, 2, 1, and relax. We could do a lot more. I'm going to just show you one of my signature moves, which is like a standing cat-cow, what I call feel-good hugs. Okay. Especially through the pandemic when we're missing hugging. So I had thousands of people globally joining us for feel-good hugs. We're going to try and open out, especially if you're sitting for long periods. So if you're at your desk, or if you're working from home, I go into workplaces and promote feel-good hugs. We're arching our backs. It's almost like a standing cat-cow. You're looking up and you're going to breathe in and then you're going to give yourselves a massive hug, which is a little way to release some oxytocin, the love hormone. You're rounding out your spine. So you should feel like any tension. You know when we're sitting for long periods, you can feel it. I can obviously give Nighat a big hug in person. Yay!
This is incredible.
And heart rate should feel like it's gone up a little bit. And hopefully, how do you feel?
I feel amazing. It's amazing. Oh, honestly, thank you so much.
3 minutes, if
for joining us on our live. You've been absolutely incredible. We've had so many questions and things that have come through. You can find out everything about Lavinia's exercises on your YouTube. So
yes, so all my get all your family members to join if you're working from home. Seated chair exercises, hundreds of them on my YouTube channel. My exercise snacks are on my Instagram. My newly created TikTok account, I'll be putting them on there as well. Finally entered that world with the queen of TikTok here.
And then finally, her mum's book, which I highly recommend as well. So Feel Good Food. And actually, this is what we need to do. We need to be able to look at our South Asian diet and then be able to adapt it so that we can lose weight and be healthy and happier. Thank you so much for joining us on our live. I will put some of it up later on across our social media. Check out South Asian Heritage Month as well, because there's so much empowering things about our community and what we as South Asian women can do. And hopefully we'll do this again one day.
I'm sure there's so many things to discuss. So lovely to see you, Nighat. Thanks everyone for joining and lots of love. Bye. Stay well.
So